Good morning. Welcome back to Divinity 648. My name is Christina. I'm a high vibrational energy intuitive. This is morning messages for January the 13th, 2022. It is 6:48 in the morning. So, morning messages is just about understanding the significance of protecting your space and your energy in all of the various ways that you can do it. Right? So, this morning, I got to see the way that crystals, herbs, and uh, colors affect the energy and the way that it transmutes negative energy into positive energy. And, you know, about a year and a half ago, I started talking to my clients about Selenite, Hematite, and Black Tourmaline. And it's really surprising how little people understand the significance of these stones. So this morning, morning messages is just to kind of put it out there a little bit, so that way people better understand what it's about, right? So the first one I want to just talk about is the Black Tourmaline, which is the most, not the most, but one of the most, it's one of the most powerful stones that you want to keep on you throughout this era, not just for a few months, but the actual era. Um, so Black Tourmaline protects against cell phones, electromagnetic smog, radiation, psychic attacks, spells, ill wishes, negative energies of all kinds. It helps with your base chakra, right? It grounds your energy so that way you can increase physical vitality. It helps to disperse tension, stress. It just overall clears negative energy, negative thoughts. It promotes a laid back attitude and objective. It has this way of giving you that neutral feeling with clear, rational thought processes. It encourages positive attitudes no matter what circumstances, and it stimulates the practicality of creativity. When it comes to healing, Black Tourmaline places, if you place it around the root or the solar plexus, but if you put it in a direction where it looks like it's almost like a spout coming off of you, you're allowing it to draw off the negative energy. Regardless where you put it around you, it's going to absorb and remove negative energy. Black tourmaline defends against debilitating diseases. It's supposed to strengthen your immune system. It helps with dyslexia, arthritis. It helps you with pain relief. It helps to realign the spinal column. It's best to wear any stone, including black tourmaline, around your neck, or if you have a bra, um, or between yourself and electronics. So there's other versions of tourmaline. The blue one will activate the throat and the third eye chakra. It will stimulate all kinds of other stuff. But the one that's dominant for people, for everyone to get through this new era and adjust to living in the fifth dimension and working on raising your vibration and just overall being a better individual, you want to start with black tourmaline for all of the reasons I just listed. Um, and then the other stone that I've been talking to clients about for just as long is the hematite. Um, hematite Hematite's an amazing stone. And again, you want to keep these as raw stones, as you don't want the polished, or the tumbled. It's okay to have tumbled, but you really want the raw ones. Hematite is extremely good for grounding and protecting, right? It harmonizes the mind, body, and spirit. Used during out of body journeying, astral traveling, it will protect the soul, and it helps it to stay grounded back into the body. So there's something called sleep paralysis. And I'm not saying that this is separate. And I'm not saying that it is same. But I noticed when I astral travel, I tend to wake up sometimes before fully connecting to the physical body, and I'll be sitting there or laying there, unable to speak, unable to move. All I can do is breathe and then open my eyes and just look around. One of the things that I learned with my spirit guides is when you wake up like that, you just want to focus on your breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, nice and calm, and it speeds up the process. So, hematite, if you sleep with it or keep it close by, it will help that to be prevented. I've actually not experienced that in a very long time since working with the three stones. So I wanted to call that out. So hematite will help ground the soul back into the body. The stone has a strong yang element, and it balances the meridians, redressing yin imbalances. It dissolves negativity and prevents negative energies from entering your aura. It restores peace and harmony to the body. It's supposed to be beneficial for legal situations, psychology. Hematite is very strong. It supports timid women, boosts self esteem, and that, I'm a survivor kind of mentality. It enhances willpower and it enhances reliability. It also imparts the confidence, right? The stone removes self limitations and it aids in expansion. It's supposed to be used for overcoming compulsions and addictions. Hematite brings attention to the unfulfilled desires that are driving you throughout your life. It treats overeating, smoking, and any form of overindulgence. Hematite helps you to come to terms with mistakes and to accept them as learning experiences rather than disasters. Mentally, hematite stimulates concentration and focus. It enhances memory, and it also helps you to keep that original thought. You know how when you're thinking and then all of a sudden you lose your thought, and you're like, oh man, I need this and I wanted to ask that, but I forgot. Hematite is really good with helping you to maintain your original thought. Um, it brings it brings the mind's attention to basic survival needs as well, right? Because you're able to think clear. So it helps you sort out your problems. Um, it's really useful for studying, especially when you're working with numerology or mathematics of any kind in technical subjects, right? Because it allows you to stay grounded, clear minded, and focused. Physically, hematite is supposed to be this powerful connection with the blood, right? It's supposed to restore, strengthen, and regulate the blood supply, and it can draw heat from the body. That I know for a fact is valid. When I get sick, I like to keep the hematite close by to keep the fevers down, and that was an incidental finding. But for healing, hematite aids circulatory problems such as Raynaud disease and blood conditions such as anemia. It supports the kidney in cleansing the blood and regenerates the tissue. Hematite stimulates the absorption of iron and formation of red blood cells. It treats leg cramps, anxiety, insomnia, and it aids in spinal alignment and fractures, right? It's used as an elixir for fevers. So it's best if you put it at the base or at the top of your spine when you're working with the spinal stuff. And, it's just an incredible stone. So then the other stone I was telling a lot of people about was the selenite, right? That's like liquid moon. That's the magician's wand. It's like a translucent white color. It's very fine. It has a very fine vibration, and it brings clarity to the mind. It opens the crown chakra and the higher chakras. It's connected to the vibration of the angelic realm. So it's said to help people access angelic consciousness and higher guidance. Pure selenite is linked to the light body, helping to anchor it into the earth's vibration so you can be one with your higher self. And that I can say I personally relate to and understand. Okay. Selenite is a calm stone that instills deep peace and is excellent for meditation or any type of spiritual work. Telepathy is enhanced by each person holding a piece of the selenite. The purest translucent white selenite has an ethereal quality and is said to inhabit the place between light and matter. It's an ancient stone. It's nevertheless one of the most powerful crystals for the new vibration on Earth. And I said new vibration a little funny because we are in a new era, even though this is an ancient stone, and where I'm getting this information from is not recent. This is an old book, and I will give the title when I'm done. But every time the earth goes through a shift or ascension or growth of any kind, that's the new earth. So selenite is amazing always. Okay, always. So selenite can be used as a protective grid, which I do know this to be true. Before I studied selenite, I was guided to put it around my home, all the way around the home, windows, doors, same thing at my office, windows, doors, um, because it can be used as a protective grid around your home or a room or anywhere, and it creates a safe and quiet space that does not allow outside influences in. Use it internally in the corners of the house. A large piece of selenite placed in the house ensures a peaceful atmosphere. Selenite wands can be used to detach entities from the aura. It's amazing at soul cutting cords from people as well. And it's great for when you're trying to call back your power. So the wands are awesome to detach not just entities from your aura, but also cords, and for preventing anything external from influencing your mind. So carrying the imprint or carrying the stone, selenite reaches other lives and is very useful for checking on progress made and for accessing the plan for the present life and from between live state. It helps with pinpointing the lessons and the issues that are still being worked on. And when I say lessons, I'm talking about karmic cycles, karmic energy, karmic lessons. Um, let's see. It also says that, you know, selenite assists in judgment and insight. Mentally, it clears confusion and aids in seeing the deeper picture. It brings about conscious understanding of what has been occurring at the subconscious level. This is a very powerful disperser and stabilizer for erratic emotions. Selenite aligns the spinal column and promotes flexibility. It guards against epileptic seizures. The stone neutralizes mercury poisoning from dental work, and it reverses the effects of free radicals. It's an excellent crystal when you're breastfeeding and nurturing children. Um, its finest healing occurs at the energetic levels, right? So that all that information, by the way, came from the Crystal Bible. It's a definitive guide to crystal written by Judy Hall. Um, the spine is purple with white letters, and it's published from Walking Sticks Press. The reason why those three stones specifically are the ones that I've been calling out, one, it does a lot of work with protecting and healing and giving you the tools that you need to keep a clear, high vibrational, functioning mind. Okay? It grounds you into the physical realm so that way you are functioning at your absolute best. And the combination of the three of them will amplify, because if you didn't notice, they all tend to work with your spinal. And I don't know how much people understand the significance and the importance of your spine and keeping it aligned, and the way that your chakras need to be aligned, right? One of them, to some most of the stones really function and focus on your root chakra, and then there's another stone that really focuses on your crown and the higher chakras. So when you've got three stones on your person that is dedicated to keeping your mind clear, it's dedicated to keeping all this electric fog radiation stuff off your body and out of your energy. And it's also focused on purifying the energy and protecting the energy around you from everything, psychic attacks, ill intention. Psychic attacks doesn't even have to be witchcraft. You could have a next door neighbor who admires you a little too much, and they don't realize that the negative thoughts that they have towards you, it can affect you, because what goes out, it's like daggers. When somebody drives by, like, oh, look at that ugly, look at that bitch driving that car, or look at this one with my ex, or whatever. When you are in your negative emotions and you're thinking negatively towards someone, you are sending energetic daggers to them, and it hits the chakras that are behind you. We have chakras behind our physical body, just as we do above and internal and below. They're throughout your aura as well. So when people are sending you energetic daggers by thinking negatively towards you, or actually trying to harm you through craft in any way, on any level, excuse me, they hit those chakras. Those thoughts hit your chakras, which is what throws people off balance, which is why it is so effective. So using these stones protects you. It protects your home. You really don't need much else, because between the three stones, you're working on your aura, you're working on your higher self and being one with it. You're working on maintaining clear mental state so you don't sound batshit crazy and conduct yourself as so, especially if you are an empath and you're not properly grounding and protecting your space. It builds your self-esteem. It encourages the power of free will, which is so important in life, because if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. If you don't have a clear mind, you're a victim. You put yourself in a vulnerable state to be victimized. If you've been in a domestic violence situation, which is very dominant, apparently around here so much, it helps you to restore that I'm a survivor. I can do this. I'm not a victim. You know, I'm clear minded. I'm not stuck in a victimized state. Any habits you have, like alcoholism, drug addiction, smoking, you're in more control of it. You can stop easier without, serious side effects. It's done with ease. So I just wanted to touch on that this morning, because the first thing they said to me was, you need to remind them the significance and the power behind carrying hematite, selenite, and black tourmaline. The three of them used together, especially on your person, in your bra, around your neck, um, in your purse, in your car, in your home, in your workplace. You're not being affected by the energies as everybody else is. So morning messages was dedicated to just reiterating the significance of, again, hematite, black tourmaline, and selenite, um, and carrying it with you, and helping you to be in control of who you are as an individual. I got an interesting phone call yesterday, and it wasn't a trigger for me, but like everything else, I check myself. I always check myself when I hear certain things in other individuals. And everything that this person was saying, I was like, that's not me. I don't have to worry. Check, 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 because I'm in control of my thoughts. I am in control of any extra, physical things that I may do in my time. I'm protected, with a clear mind, and I do know how to ground and maintain mental clarity and stability. Um, so much that I've even reached out to a neurologist and asked for testing, and let's do the whole workup. Like, I'm over here grabbing people's lung cancer, not being in the same building as them, and it's recorded on testimonial evidence, and I'm doing all these other things Why not? Why not test the shit out of me so that way we can rule out any discrepancies or room for error? And that way we can, when somebody has the audacity to even insinuate that I belong in Corrigan or any place like that because of the knowledge that I have access to that the average individual definitely does not. They can be sit down. They can, you can tell them to sit the fuck down. It's okay to not know what the fuck you're talking about, and it's okay to not be able to wrap your mind around the things that my mind has within it. Right? Because when you open up your chakras, all of them, not just the ones in you, or above you, below you, in front of you, but behind you, and also the ones within your aura, right? Which is why you want to do an aura cleanse, which is why you want to make sure your chakras are all aligned and balanced, not just the ones within you, but the ones all around you. You want to always radiate and vibrate your purest true self, so people don't misjudge you, so people don't get confused when they look at you, right? It's easy to misjudge a person, very easy. I know that for a fact that I'm not innocent from it. um, I don't care to discuss personal stuff either anymore, but I think it's important overall that individuals just, get yourself some black tourmaline, preferably in a raw state, not tumbled or polished. Get yourself some selenite, preferably in a raw state, not polished or tumbled. And hematite. Um, Hematite's amazing raw. Most of the time, you're going to find it polished or tumbled, which is fine. Magnetic versions are available out there as well, which is even more incredible to work with. Work with essential oils as well. Dill is just as amazing as the three stones I was just talking about. Keeping, I like to keep vitality from the essential oils on me, in my purse, wherever, so that way I can smell it, I can taste it. I try not to buy anything that is not of vitality, because if it's not safe to stick it in my mouth, I don't know that I want to be sniffing it and inhaling it, right? If it's not safe to digest, well, why would I want it on my finger? Why would I want it up my nose? Why do I want to breathe it in if it's not safe to digest it? That's just a red flag for me. So 22:44, 22 minutes, 44 seconds into this episode, and I'm going to end it. Um, you are in a new era. I've been calling this out for so many months now. And now more and more YouTubers, readers on YouTuber, specifically Maji, the High Priestess, um, they're experiencing, feeling, and going through their own shift into the higher vibrations, and realizing that they are in a new dimension. The average person, any person, we all vibrate on the fifth dimension now. We're all psychic now, right? Psychic is now the new normal. The way that all of a sudden we have peanut allergies, and all of a sudden we have an influx of autism, and all of a sudden, we've got one generation where all these, I went to the high school and it was like all the freshmen look like they're still in fifth grade or sixth grade. It was crazy. All of those types of things that are in fact associated with the vaccines and the shots that we give our children at birth and during pregnancy. I don't care what anybody says. I know this to be true. So work with the stones. Be your best person. You want to be in full control of your mind. You want to be in full control of your personal energy and space. You really, if you have to take, if you have to take three things with you in life, it's not a big sack full of like 20 different stones. It's the three stones that I called out. And if possible, a bottle of essential oils, dill. And if you do spiritual uses of, spiritual meaning of, you'll understand why. So that's morning messages. You're going through it, you're experiencing things, you're feeling suicidal, which I called out, I don't know, 7 or 9 episodes ago, when I talked about people going through this shift in ascension. You're gonna, the suicide rate is gonna go up, the depression rate's gonna go up, because people who are toxic as fuck are being forced to see themselves for who they are and not how they project themselves. So it's a rude awakening for a lot of individuals, right? Actually, I want to say I even started saying that like back in 2018, when I was talking about how Ra's energy was more present and Kali and Oya came through. Um, because when they painted everybody gray, their energy gray, it allows their true energy to pop off that gray mask, right? So if you have ill intent, you're toxic, you're narcissistic, that darkness, because that's that color of darkness, no matter what shade, it's still darkness. That's going to really stand out against the gray facade, the gray energy, the gray mask. And Oya was a present to put things in motion. She's that force, um, that force, that current, that energy that put things into motion so things can unfold naturally according to people's free will, which allows individuals to actually see people for who they are and allow individuals to do what they want to do and behave the way they want to behave, thinking they can fool everybody around them. So that way they could be exposed for the individuals that they really truly are. So, Hematite, Black Tourmaline, Selenite are your 3 go-to crystals, and it's never going to change. That's your 3 go-to crystals above everything else. And you guys can keep playing with lapis lazuli, onyx. Those are all amazing stones as well. I'm not knocking any of them. Citrine's amazing. I work with citrine, amethyst. I have a whole bunch of points, smoky rose, all of them. But excuse me, I need to end this. The primary ones, though, really are the 3 that I keep calling out. So work with that. If you are looking for a stone to start with, though, pick one of those 3. And I will say that over and over again to all of my clients. I try to keep tumblers or small portions of these in my purse. I like to give them out. If clients come in my office and I see that they could benefit from one of them, I'll fish for them out of my bag and just give them. I give these stones away like Tic Tacs. I give them away at doctors' offices. I give them away everywhere I go because not enough people are using them. Not enough people are tapping into these type of influences. And it's so important to understand that stones and crystals are not just external influences, but internal influences, right? I mean, Mookaite jasper. I went into a store and I bought a piece of Mookaite jasper and it was in the shape of a lung. And then I realized how bad my breathing was and how much it's improved. These stones really do benefit you internally and externally. That's why when I was talking to the school a year ago about, their turnaround and their goals, I was like, you need to build that new building with some stones. You need some black tourmaline, some selenite, some hematite throughout that whole building. Um, for all of the reasons I just listed off. And again, the name of that book um, was The Crystal Bible. And it's definitely a good resource to have. It's from Judy Hall. You could also just Google it on your phone or device. Spiritual uses of, benefits of, and jump into that. So this is Morning Messages, 28:56 seconds in, and I'm going to end it. Enjoy your day and stay grounded.